What's going on YouTube? This is Tyler back in with another video, and we just opened a 50 card order. Apparently the software didn't record it, so I'm just going to do a recap of what I just... Alright, so we're going to go through these really quick because they're not that great. Alright, PSA 10 Aaron Judge. It's a lone bright spot, but again, we're going to go through a lot of other stuff here. It's going to look like 9. So rookie debut Tom Brady, PSA 9. Got Randy Moss Tom Brady Connections insert, PSA 9. Well, let's see, Bryce Harper rookie debut, or all-star game actually. It's not the rookie debut, it's the all-star game. Michael Jordan International French, PSA 9. And some of these PSA 9s absolutely warranted. So I'm just throwing that out there. It's not that every single one of these cards are expected to be PSA 10s. There's going to be always borderline cards in my orders, and at least I hope. But the borderline cards I would expect to yield somewhere around 70% gems. I mean, it should be leaning more so towards gem instead of not gem. 70% is the opposite of 30%. I mean, we're going below 50% gem rates. I mean, a card like this Michael Jordan, I just don't really know. Just don't know. It's on the case. No issues with this card stock whatsoever. You'll see a tiny little spot back there on the edge. Doesn't mean that it holds it back from PSA 10 based on, again, historical precedent. See cards that have very minor flaws in PSA 10 holders all the time. PSA 10 does not mean perfect. It does not mean pristine. In fact, PSA 9 may mean pristine if any of you watched my last video. Again, me cracking out PSA 9s, submitting them to Beckett. No, some people had commented on there that this doesn't really necessarily prove anything. You could have got a more favorable grader. Well, of course. I mean, I could have also got an unfavorable PSA grader, because was I expecting for some of those orders to have a 20% gem rate whenever I submitted them? No. Not whenever my historical gem rate is usually right around 70 to 80% prior to 2020, 2021. In 2022, my gem rate is still in the 65% range, maybe not factoring in this or some of the other orders. I mean, the gem rates are usually pretty high. So whenever I get something that is a 20% gem rate, I'm gonna be very pissed. It's not the first time that's happened. You all saw that I cracked several cards and submitted them to Beckett last summer, including some very high value cards. Orange Refractor Shohei Ohtani autograph, Donruss Optic Gold Prism, Justin Herbert rookies, other rookie cards across the board, finest Gold Wave or Orange Wave that I ended up getting graded at the National. I mean, just what I'm finding, PSA is just not giving out really good grades on high-end cards. There is not. Like, I'm getting royally screwed on high-end cards. If I do a breakout view and show you the highest valued cards that I submit for grading, they usually don't do that well. Now, some of that is also because they're usually more prone to be cherry-picked. So there's that variable. But by and large, high-dollar cards and me with PSA 10 grades, doesn't happen. Maybe I need a blue check mark next to my name in order for me to get some favorable treatment from, some of the grading companies. But I'll tell you one thing, there have been some very frustrating grades that just really make me scratch my head and question, at the high end level, is this thing rigged? Is it rigged? Because they're literally creating value and printing money, but is their assessment of those cards the same? I mean, go back to that video where I cracked out the Orange Ohtani. It's about $50,000 worth of cards. That Orange Ohtani in a Beckett 9.5 holder right now is probably around a $50,000 card. Still have it. So it was probably my most valuable purchase in 2021 and best payoff, all things considered, considering the market was tanking. So that one card definitely paid dividends. But whenever I've done that in 2022, just am not getting the results that I would get on, let's say, a lower end card. So weird tangent. Didn't mean to go down that tangent. But with this order, ugly. Very ugly. Good thing is that there's some players in here that are highly collected, so my hope is to be able to move some of these cards in the $15 to $20 range, salvage some of the value, maybe some of the PSA 10s will do well, and this is at best a break-even order. So what does break-even look like? Break even for the liabilities is right around 1,500 bucks. We've got 50 cards here, 50 times 30, so let's average $30 a card. You know, the 10s are gonna do well, the 9s are not gonna do well. That's doable. I could probably do that. It's gonna be a lot of labor to break even, which is very unfortunate. Let's see if we knock down the fees here instead of it being 1141. Let's say, I don't want to do that because I have that number locked in there. Just gonna figure out if the fees were cut in half, you know, $18 fee got knocked down to $9. We got ourselves a lot more wiggle room. $9 fees. This is probably a lot easier order to swallow with a 30% gem rate. Not an $18 pop. So with that, you're seeing a lot of burnout across the hobby. I'm seeing posts. It's not just me. There's other people out there who are saying, hey, you know, I took my stab at grading and flipping, and in 2022, recent orders in this market, we're looking at, you know, slightly positive to break even. So that's the fear. The fear is that grading now, you're doing all this work where before you were handsomely rewarded for it, not during the boom, even before the boom, you were handsomely rewarded for it. Now it's becoming a futile proposition based on the fees. But PSA is still getting business because people like me are giving them business. Well, I'm telling you, that's getting dialed back. Last couple of videos I said I'm never giving PSA grading fees like I did in 2021 and 2022. I'm never spending that amount of money on grading fees ever again. On a per card basis, not happening. PSA is the one that made money in 2021 and 2022, as did the consigners, as did the people transacting cards, the people for which we're giving free press to. Doing this, that flip grade to consign model, graders getting money, consigners getting money, the rich get richer. The people who are actually doing the grading and grading the cards, it's becoming very, very difficult. And I think that you're going to see a lot more people over the next 6 months or so, once they start trying to sell their slabs, they're going to come to that realization, and we're going to see more price wars picking up. Like, the wars are going to get intense. They've already gotten intense. CSG has holiday specials. BGS just extended their Black Friday special, and yes, I submitted 2 orders to them. High-end cards. I didn't trust PSA with those high-end cards, so I sent them to Beckett. But we're going to see a lot more people demanding that we get sub $10 grading fast. Because this is just, we're at that point. We're at the point where $18, yes, $18 is the outdated price. We're down to $15 now. That $15 got extended. Oh, guess what? They also said not just sports cards, TCG through the rest of the year. The next drop, you know what the next drop is. The next drop is $12. It's coming. Trust me, it's coming. It will be here. Okay, did I go through all these cards? I think I did. Y'all went through this, right? Let me go through these just really, really quick. I'm pretty sure that I went through these. Yeah, no, I didn't go through these. Here. I just did my little long diatribe about the market. And so, can I recommend everyone do this right here? Is it good for views to say, hey, this is great, look at all the cards I got? Yeah, it's good for views. Views doesn't pay anything on YouTube. There's no money in YouTube at all. Unless you got 200,000 plus views, there's not a lot of money in this. So I don't do this for the money. Do this to document the cards that I have, so in case anything gets lost in the mail or there's any type of dispute or there's anything whatsoever, I've got record that I have these cards on film. So I'm very appreciative that people have enjoyed following the content over time. But because I do not rely on cards necessarily to pay my bills, I can speak the God's honest truth. I've spoken the truth in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. Now moving into 2023, my declaration is that grading and flipping is dead as it stands now in 2022. At this very, very moment, on this broad scale that it is right now, to do this type of stuff, it's dead. Lots of reasons. We'll get into the reasons because I'm almost done with this order in the next box. So make sure that you guys hit the continue button, subscribe, because we'll jump into the reasons for that in the next box. So let's go through these really, really quick. painful. Just painful. Painful, guys. This is about as painful as Tom Brady's year. Although he did pull off a victory versus the Saints. That was good. So, yeah. Well, it's another thing. Tom Brady's not playing that well either. You'd think, hide your money in the goats. Not so fast. Not if they don't grade well. Okay. That's one box down. Now we are going to stop this, and then we are going to open up another box. So another 50 card box coming up. It is better. So see you guys on the other side.